Welcome everyone. So in this video I'm going to look at mathematics paper 2 GC. The topic we are going to discuss today is mensuration. So this question goes like this. In the following diagram, the dimension of a top and bottom rectangles of the frustum of a right pyramid are 2 cm by 6 and 5 cm by 15. Given that the height of the frustum is 10 cm, calculate its volume. So how can we calculate the volume of a frustum? So before we calculate the volume of the frustum, you need to understand what a frustum is and a pyramid is. So basically a pyramid looks like this, like a triangle. Whilst the frustum is when this pyramid is cut in half. So this is the frustum. Yeah, so meaning for us to calculate the volume of this frustum, we need first to calculate the what? The volume of the entire what? Triangle. Then we subtract what? The top part. So if we remove the top part, we are going to remain with the volume of the frustum. So that's where this formula you are seeing is coming from. So what does this formula mean now? So this formula means that the volume of a rectangle is what? 1/3 times the length times the height times the breadth. Yeah, but in the frustum we are saying that we need to calculate two volumes, the volume of the bigger triangle and the volume of the smaller triangle. Then we subtract them to get the volume of the frustum. Yeah, so here you need to be careful again when you are calculating for the volume, because this height you have been given is from here up to here. This is not the height for the bigger what? Triangle. What do we mean? This is not the height for the entire pyramid. So meaning there is also the height for what? For the smaller triangle, which we don't know. So therefore the height or the total height of this pyramid, of this bigger pyramid, should be this height you have been given 10 plus the height of the small one, which gives us the total height of the pyramid. So that's the first step. We need to find the height of the smaller pyramid. How do we calculate the height of the smaller pyramid? So the way we can calculate the height of the small pyramid is by using what is known as similarities and congruence. What do you mean by similarities and congruence? So this topic is a topic which compares shapes. It can compare rectangles, a small rectangle to a bigger rectangle, a small triangle to a bigger triangle. Yeah, so but in our case what we have is a rectangle. So you can choose any what? You can choose what? Any side you want to compare. So if we get back to the diagram, it's saying we have two rectangles. One is 2 by 6, which is this one. Then the other one is 15 by 5, which is this one. So the way we compare is when you get the length of the smaller triangle, you compare it with the length of a bigger rectangle. If you pick the breadth of a bigger rectangle, you have to compare it with the breadth of what? The smaller triangle. So for me, I'll pick what? The length, which is 6 and 15. So we say that the smaller triangle is 6, then the bigger triangle is 15. Now, how about the height? So the height, we have the small height, which we don't know. Then we also have the bigger height for the bigger rectangle, which is 10 plus that small height, this one, which gives us the total height. Then after that, you are going to closely multiply. So 6 times, so you start with 15 times x, we have 15x, which is equals to 6 times 10, we have 60 plus 6x. Then here you group the right terms. So meaning 6x will cross the equal sign. We have 15x minus 6x, which is equal to 60. Then if we subtract 15x minus 6x, we have 9x, which is equals to 60. Then here we can divide both sides by 9, and our x is equal to, so if you punch this on the calculator, remember this is paper 2, calculators are allowed. So if you punch on the calculator, you basically get 6.67 centimeters. If you round it off. And remember, answers in paper 2 should be left in 3 significant figures. 3. 1, 2, 3. Always leave them in 3 significant figures. So now that we have the smaller height, therefore now we can calculate our volume of the pyramid. Because what we need is the length, the height, the breadth for the bigger rectangle, and also the length and height for the smaller rectangle. Yeah. So, you say now, our volume is 1/3. What is the length of the bigger triangle? So, the length of the bigger rectangle is 15 multiplied by what is the height. Remember, the height is not 10, but the height of the bigger triangle is 10 plus the smaller triangle, which is 6.67, which gives us 16.67 centimeters as our bigger height. Yeah, so we can write it here on height, which is 16.67 multiplied by our breadth, which is what? 5. Then this you subtract it with the length, the height, and the breadth of the smaller rectangle. So what is the length of the smaller rectangle? So the length of the smaller rectangle is this one on top, which is 6 multiplied by the height, which is the one we calculated here, which is 6.67. Then you multiply it by the breadth, which is 2. Yeah. Then our next step, you basically do what? You basically multiply everything. So if you multiply everything, this side, 15 times 16.67 times 5, you get 1,250.25 minus, if you multiply everything on this side, you get what? 80.04. Then if you subtract, you get what? 1,170.21. Then if this answer, you divide it by 3, you get what? 390.07 7 cubic centimeter. But remember, I told you that answers in paper 2 should be left to 3 significant figures. And this answer has how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 5 significant figures. So how can you convert it to 3 significant figures? So you count 1, 2, 3. Then you look at the next number. Is the next number greater than 5 or less than 5? Our answer is less than 5, which means we just ignore it. If the number was above 5, you add 1 to the next number. So basically, our final answer is 390 cubic centimeter. So this was the volume of the frustrum. So don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Yeah.